What do you say, everybody? And Roll Tide, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the upswing in Alabama recruiting, and all of a sudden, Alabama with a ton of momentum, winning the in-state players, and somebody that they'd really like to add to this class. We'll talk a little bit of EA Sports. One of the two of us was actually featured on the game. And also, SEC Media Days coming up. I want Shank's take on what that job would have been like with Coach Saban. I'll let you know the Bama players that are going there. Would have been a lot of fun, I'm sure, for Coach Saban to critique you on Media Days if you said the wrong thing, because I can guarantee you that he'd be paying close attention. So we're going to do all that on the show. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, Roll Tide. Let's go. Brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. All right, guys, good to see you. Shank, good to see you. I'm Mick Gillespie. I'm glad to be here. Had a little bout of the stomach flu, I think, and I think I survived it, but it was terrible. When I say terrible, Shank, I mean it was terrible. I thought I might die for a little while.
Man, that's tough, man. Those stomach bugs that really get you down, man. Because once it hits you, there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? You like balled up fetal position next to a toilet or something. It's a horrible situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing when people get sick like that and they're drinking, right? It's another thing to just be going about your day and you just got like just explosive sickness out of nowhere. That's tough. I hate that for you, dog.
I'm just glad I'm here. This morning I didn't think I could do this, but for the people, we have to do the show.
Hey,
right?
we in here.
And we got a lot to talk about. Bama on an upswing in recruiting, and it's been fun to watch. I mean, you and I kind of touched on this a little bit last week when all the guys were kind of falling into place.
Right.
So, when you look at where Bama is, in the standings, the recruiting standings, I buy into those, man. I mean, I don't know that it's an exact science, but if you're not on that, you're not in that top 5, top 10, you're not going to win a championship. Man, that's just the way it goes, right?
That's right.
But Bama's number 5 right now, and they still got some guys they can add to the class. So, what pretty fun. Don't you love it though when people pick Alabama?
Hey man, like we said last time, they going with a slow and methodical approach, man. We adding the right pieces over time, and that recruiting class is really starting to come together. I seen some recently about Zay and his recruitment, right? You see what his mom say about the staff? His
Yeah.
mom was just basically everybody talking down on DeBoer and recruiting him, but the staff, all the work the staff put in, all the contacting and just being around and being available, man, like that's huge. That's huge because anybody that knows college football knows that it takes more than one guy to recruit. You know, was Nick a good recruiter? Yeah, he was fucking Nick Saban. Like at that point in his career, how could he not be? Like his name alone recruited for him, but to have a guy like DeBoer who really hasn't established a name in the SEC yet, to come down and recruit SEC guys, and he has a staff that he's put together that these parents feel safe leaving their kids with, man, that's huge. That's huge because I don't think that should get lost on people because, yeah, these kids are 18, 19, going to college, whatever the case may be, but they're still somebody's children. And so to have a parent come out and just praise the Bama recruiting the way that she did, man, that's big time. And I think that shows in our rankings slowly but surely creeping up in recruiting. So I'm not surprised at all.
I'm hearing some of the same stuff too, that they negatively recruited DeBoer. It's hard to negatively recruit a guy that nice,
Right.
And it's like then you look at his track record and you're like, all right, this guy's nice, but then you're like, but he won a lot of games everywhere he's been, and he's done it with less talent. And I don't think last year was perfect, but I think he did a good job. I mean, it just feels like he's turning the corner, and he lets people work too, right? If he hires you
He
for a job, you
does.
can do that job.
He does, man. He does. And I mean, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. And last year was his first year, and we told people, don't. It's not going to be the year you're expecting. It's going to be a down year. We're going to lose some games, and it's not necessarily that we're going to lose big games. It's the unexpected games. Why? Because that standard's not in place yet. You know, you don't have your own team. You don't know what the response is going to be when things get sluggish. But now, year two, I won't be as forgiving for losing those type of games. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
now it's just like, all right, guys, let's buckle up our damn bootstraps and get to work here. It can't be anymore. Oh, it's just a down game. We lost to Vandy. It's just a down game. We lost to Oklahoma. We got our guy in the OC seat now, man. And so I think Grubb's gonna come in and change some things, flip some stuff over, and make some stuff work out. And I think we're going. Like I said, I think we're going 90 this year. I'm doubling down on that. I'm standing on that.
God, that would be awesome. Can you imagine the DeBoer statue? That'd be nice
I
outside. They
mean,
got room for another
damn,
one.
how many would he have to win to even be considered for a statue?
No, if you win one, you get one.
Word,
Yeah,
damn, that's crazy.
that'd be like it'd be crazy to think, like having guys out there making a new statue. But that could happen. I mean, there's going to be, there's going to be a lot of competition. I don't think that the SEC. I think the SEC is still great, but I think some of these other programs are great now too because they've spent all this NIL money.
Man,
Notre Dame and Michigan and Ohio State and Texas Tech's trying to get in there, and Texas A&M's trying to buy in. It's like, wow, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of
right,
programs that are, kind of that could give you some trouble, but there was a time when the best came to play in the SEC, and I still think they do, but it just makes this college football playoff a lot more interesting, and
absolutely.
and I think that we're not going to have another year, at least they act like that, where they go and seed these teams where it was just complete bullshit like it was last year. Teams that were getting buys that didn't play anybody, and
Right.
making up matchups like SMU at Penn State instead of Alabama at Penn State, which pissed us off. But Ole Miss and South Carolina won better games than SMU did. Going back to the recruiting part of it, the word was that DeBoer couldn't recruit in state. And then it was like, hey, to his coaches appreciate how good the players are in the state, right? And when he put his staff together, he kept Freddie Roach and he kept Robert Gillespie, and then there's some other guys too that were part of Saban's staff that understood the state, and those guys have been instrumental in helping Alabama win some of these recruiting battles. I've been surprised that Auburn hasn't been as productive in these fights, right? Because Cedarian Morgan, the 5-star wide receiver out of Benjamin Russell, they thought he was going to Auburn for a long time. He comes to Bama. EJ Crowell from Jackson. Remember, he reclassified the running back. Texas was in there. He'd been to Alabama a lot. But there was other schools comes to Alabama, right? Now it's Tank Jones. If they try to get Tank Jones, and it's between – Auburn isn't even in it. Like, it's between Oregon, Texas A&M, and Alabama. And I said this the other day. Oregon's a lot – like, I saw the rankings on 3, and they do a great job, but they're missing out if they don't realize that Oregon's got a chance to get this guy. They've been in there and the mix for this dude since the beginning, right? But Alabama's the other team, so it's Bama's right there again, and I think that this Tank Jones, a 5-star from St. Paul's, I just think like when you build a program, we've talked about it on here a lot. You got to win the in-state guys. Those are the guys, the elite level guys. And you're going to get some other guys too, but the best of the best, you won't wearing that crimson and white.
No, absolutely, man. It's crazy. You look back on almost every championship team Saban had, and I'm pretty sure that was a Mobile, Baldwin County, Lower Alabama guy on that roster every time. And that's just Lower Alabama. And you continue to look, and the in-state guys continue to pop out, man, and that's what it's about because you need that. I think it's some pride behind playing at your in-state team. Um, Definitely, because you walk around with a different type of confidence. Just you see how Bama fans get. Now imagine you're a former player walking around, right? And you have the resume to back up the shit talk. Like it's a different kind of feeling. It is without a doubt. But at the end of the day, it's no different than high school guys want the athletes in their area to stay at their high school, right? Why? Because if you keep your high school athletes within the area, then you have a chance to be really good. And Alabama football is the same thing. If you are able to keep your in-state guys without them going all over to Oregon, Texas, wherever it may be, you have a chance to be really damn good because, as you know, the state of Alabama produces NFL talent consistently, consistently. And last time I checked, per capita, Mobile, Alabama was one of the best at producing NFL talent. And so the numbers speak facts, you know? And so they just got to stay on it, man, because I'm telling you, it does something chemistry wise to a team. Uh, just because those in-state guys, man, like I said, they have that pride about them. It means a little something different to them, and they push themselves a little differently. And I think that's any in-state guy, at any program,
Mhm.
that that homegrown pride is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's absolutely real.
Yep. Zion Gibson was like the first guy in that list. I don't talk about him enough, but he's been part of the class for a long time, and he's a 4-star from Gadsden City. He's an important part of this as well. And it's great to see. Honestly, it's great to see. Another great thing, though, guys, is Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's golf time. The Azaleas, the Oaks, two amazing golf courses that you can play without a membership. The drive's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, but it's got that, when you get there, the Augusta feel. And when you turn off and you turn off the road into the golf course and you get back there, you're going to be blown away. They got everything you need. You can actually rent a room in the clubhouse. If you really like golf, then you can kind of hang out in there even when the place is closed. Then wake up and open it up, and there's the 18th green. So check it out for yourself. We really appreciate them being a part of what we're doing. Pearl River Resort, Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. All right, let's get into this now. Talking about games, EA Sports NCAA football game is back.
Yes, sir.
And you love this game. I love this game. I remember when it first came out, how cool it was, and then it just kept getting better and better, and then it went away, and now it's back again for the second year. But must have been really cool when you were playing back before they cut it off.
Hey man, look, it's crazy because like stuff like that I really don't care about. A lot of that stuff, man, is just like or being seen or my image. But the fact that I was on an NCAA video game before they discontinued it the first time, like that was dope as shit. Like that was real bragging rights amongst me and the boys. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, you know how it is. Like the college athletes, you create bonds with other college athletes, man. And so you get in that text message thread, and you just like you seeing yourself on NCAA. What's your overall? My overall was like 59. By the way, I was ass. I was asked before anybody asked. I'll be the first to tell you. It was so bad. Hell, I thought the lowest rate you could get was like 60. I was like a 59, but granted, I was a freshman and like the whole damn offensive line was all Americans at the time. So compared to that shit, I'm happy to have the 59, the 59 overall that I did have. Yeah, but
that's so funny.
That stuff's exciting, man. It's exciting, and then you go edit your character, put yourself in the game, and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely when I build a dynasty, I'm throwing myself back in the game the best way I can. Right, you feel me?
Did you like playing with your teammates? What was Coker like as a video game guy? Was he on that one?
I don't know. If he would have, it would have been like Florida State for him at the time.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I knew that. Yeah.
And we ain't gonna hold it against them though.
No,
You know what
no.
I'm saying?
Now they need to they could go back and put all those teams in together. All the championship teams. You ought to be able to play with like every championship team ever, like going all the
You
way
really
back.
should.
It'd be fun.
I would love to have a 2015 Dynasty team on damn NCAA. People would be so pissed off. I'm running the ball 60 times a
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just
Who's gonna stop Derrick Henry?
right, right.
They
And they
still
got
can't.
nah, they still can't. Like his longevity is insane. He just to be performing at that level, especially in a league that undervalued running backs for so long, and just said running backs continue to depreciate yearly and just don't perform. And you see similar guys in the league that just fell off a cliff, but here's Derrick Henry just on a revival with the Ravens right now. I mean, just that's absolutely nuts. Like absolutely nuts. He
Crazy.
is. Hey, he keeping the running back position alive right now. You got to give him his respect. Him, Saquon Barkley, guys like that. He's just because they're game changers, they're team changers. You
Yeah,
know, and so you got to respect that. Shout out
yeah.
Derek.
No, they are.
But yeah, NCAA need to do that, man. I need that 2015 Dynasty team. It dropped on the game because they do it on NBA games. They have
Yeah,
like the old school teams on there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So we should get
Let me
that
ask you
going.
something very controversial about this game.
Uh-oh. What we got?
I'm coming at you with this.
I love it.
White Alabama uniforms and
Okay.
helmet. What do you
Mm,
think?
I like that. I like that. We call it cocaine crimson. Absolutely love it. All white with the crimson numbers.
Yeah,
Like they got to give me I need the block A though, like throwback Bama A. We need to bring that back.
right.
And it's just like we can do some alternate helmets, man. Like, come on, y'all not hurting for money. He's just like, let's get some alternate helmets going. Damn, South Alabama, I felt like had a new helmet decal every game at one
No,
point.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We knew that.
And
Yeah,
so if they can do it, I know we can do it.
yeah. How far
And
do you think we could go, though? Do you think that one game a year they could go with the white helmets? Or do you think that it's just too much tradition to ever
but I
to
mean, the white
ever
helmets are
to
part of the
dare have?
tradition, though. The white
Yeah,
helmet, you pulled the picture. It's a real thing. And so I can't, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the tradition. But you can guarantee if we were to ever put those white helmets on and lose that game, like there would be a
never
fucking
again.
riot.
Yeah,
There would be a riot, dog.
no.
It's just
I'm not saying we need to have like the gray uniforms that we had. Remember the
uh,
ivory tusk uniforms or whatever, black or anything like that. I'm just saying one game having a white helmet just because you could sell it for NIL would be pretty good. When you get the game, what's the first matchup you look forward to having on there? Like what's the thing that you can't wait to see with this year's game, and who do you want to see Alabama? Where would you put Alabama playing in a hostile environment?
so the thing is when you get the game, man, everybody has like different things they gravitate towards first. So like some of my friends build their dynasty mode first, but me, I'm going road to glory first. You know what I'm saying? I'm building a quarterback, maxing out all height, all weight. He's just like, you know what I'm saying? So he's gonna be he like 6'6", 400 at quarterback if they let me. And we running a triple option. It's just like no questions asked. It's just like disrespectful triple option team. I picked small schools. Like who would I pick last year? I think last year I took like Kennesaw State to the national championship. Man, I think that shit's cool, man. Because I mean, obviously, Bama's always gonna be good. Like your top program's always gonna be good. So it's not really any fun when you pick them because the team's already built
Already
and
built.
you're just a piece fitting in.
Can I
Yeah,
ask you
but
this though? Is this 6'6", 400-pound quarterback that runs the option? Is he called Shank on the game?
hell yeah. Hell yeah. His name is Shank Taylor. Look, we keeping real names. Hey, look, No clarification needed after that. It's Shank for sure. I'm living out my skilled player dreams.
That's so funny. All right, last thing on today's show, SEC Media Days are next week. We're actually going to have some football to talk about here coming up soon. I mean, it's coming fast and
Hallelujah.
furious. And Kalen DeBoer announced that he's bringing Deontay Lawson, Tim Keenan, and Caden Proctor. Remember last year, Alabama took Jalen Milroe, Tyler Booker, and Malachi Moore to Dallas. This one's in Atlanta, which I don't understand why they would have picked the week of the Major League Baseball All-Star game, but that's what they did. So you get
Tuscaloosa
a lot of
East,
traffic,
baby.
and you're not going to have me there going. I'm not going with all that traffic, but I will be paying attention to it. But so all three of these guys, I've heard them all talk. They're really good. It's a different stress level, though. Did you ever get to talk in any of these things, and what was it like for the players that did, with Coach Saban always worried about everything that everybody said?
I never got to talk at him. I never really did too much media at all. You know, maybe they knew I wasn't the one to put in front of a mic. Shit would get a little crazy. Nah, but I don't think any of the players that he picks are worried about it because they pick those guys for a reason. You know, those guys can articulate themselves. They're quick thinkers on their feet. And you'd be crazy to think that those guys went up there without any type of media training as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's obviously ways to say things and do's and don'ts when doing those interviews, but I don't think that the guys picked or worried or under any stress because it probably comes natural to them. And typically on teams like Bama, when you pick those certain guys, those guys are probably leaders, right? Leaders on the team in some capacity, and so it's nothing new to them. They're ambassadors of the university. They understand that, and they carry themselves that way. And I think they're gonna show up and do just fine, man. No issues.
Well, it's fun that we're there. That's that
Yeah,
time, because after that you start practicing, and then after that you got games. So all of it's kind of coming together, and I'm looking forward to all of it. Shank, thanks for being here as always. It was a great time hanging out. People, you get in the
absolutely.
comment section, and if you got any questions for Shank, throw them in there. We'll ask them. Start doing that as part of the show. I want to tell you a couple of things before we get off the air. I saw the new Daniel Moore print with Mark Sears, buzzer beater. I love it. I hope you guys love it too. You can get 20% off when you use our promo code Bama Tailgate. But I think that that's going to be a really cool print. And we love football, but this run that Nate Oates has this basketball team on has been incredible. To Elite Eight like it's nothing. The Final Four, contending for SEC championship games, and Sears was a big part of that. One of the best players in program history, and that's out there and available right now. And you can use our promo code Bama Tailgate at checkout to get 20% off. And we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort right there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Talked about Dancing Rabbit. Let me remind you guys that it's hot out there. Geyser Falls is open. Grab up the kids, take them there, let them go swim and have fun at the lazy river and all that stuff. And you go inside and hit the table games and the slots and take advantage of all those great bars and everything else that's going on at Pearl River. But we appreciate them so much. And also they got like some great acts as well. Jeff Dunham's there this summer, but check all that out, Pearl River Resort. Thank you guys, and we'll do it again. I'm so glad that we made this happen today. And
Absolutely.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.